What is good, Chad? Welcome to another show. All right, today we got a lot to react to. All right, because it's not that there's an update on Andrew Tate. It's just that some other content creators have been reacting to Andrew Tate, and one that I actually find very interesting is the Willie Mack show. Okay, because he broke down a lot of shit, basically exposing pound for pound the lies that Andrew Tate has been telling. All right, and honestly, based on his breakdown, I am 110% convinced that this guy is gonna see the inside of a prison cell. I mean, it's almost inevitable at this point. That's why I can't stand when a lot of these Tate fanboys are out here talking about there's no evidence. Show me the evidence. It's like, bruh, just go on social media and just type in Andrew Tate, all right? And Andrew Tate getting rich, Andrew Tate before the money, all right? And you will see a bunch of videos mainly uploaded by either the Tate team or his fanboys, all right, of him bragging about him being a trafficker, all right? So it's almost inevitable, and I just found the Willie Mack depiction of this hilarious. But first, all right, speaking of the people that believe in this bullshit, all right, a lot of these guys who are caping for the daddy Tate, all right? Listen, the one thing that I cannot stand is when other content creators are out there promoting the fact that this guy may be innocent, and there is no evidence, no evidence to convict this guy, all right? And the Matrix and everything Andrew's saying is correct, all right? And you know, black folks, we got it. Well, this is why we always complaining. This is why we stuck where we are, all right? When we're looking at a successful man like Andrew Tate, all right? Y'all want to be the first one to shit on him, right? They're taking advantage of this opportunity, all right? Black people own slaves too, all right? Y'all understand that. Black folks own slaves too, all right? If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, I'm referring to the recent reaction video that yours truly and Anton Daniels did, all right? Regarding the whole Tate situation. See, I wasn't even going to react to this until he just randomly just brings up black people for no fucking reason, especially when it has to deal with stuff with high value men and rich and money and people getting taken advantage of. Yeah, this dude literally, as he's doing his reaction video, randomly just starts chiming in. Yeah, you know, y'all coming to Andrew Tate. Well, black folks own slaves too. Yeah. See, this is why I keep telling y'all not gonna get a hit. y'all not listening to how these boys are really doing it, all right? See, y'all over here complaining. I'm telling y'all, you need to pull yourself up by the bootstraps, all right? Don't forget, we own slaves too. Did I remind y'all that black folks own slaves too? So a lot of Anton Daniels, the reason why I just can't, listen, I'm not gonna waste an opportunity to roast this guy, all right? If there's an opportunity, I'm taking it. All right, here's what it is. This guy deserves to be roasted because he's a fraud. He's a fraud that supports rapists like Charleston White. As a matter of fact, he pays for facials for guys like Charleston White. That's how intertwined these people are. All right, and he's supposed to be the representative of black culture, which is freaking amazing to me that people listen to this guy that looks like a Suge Knight that ate too many Skittles. Y'all need to chill out with this nonsense. But people like him, and to be fair, guys like Angry Man, all right, these are guys who were you would formerly consider black manosphere leaders, or since they all pretend to lead the black manosphere, all right, they were former black manosphere leaders. And the one thing I can't stand is whenever shit like this goes down, especially in the red pill, you see these far right talking points, right? It's like these guys get to a certain level of making money and then they forget that they're black. It's like they forget like they used to be broke, all right? They forget that, you know, like this shit, you know, the economy, all this stuff affects everybody else, all right? Somehow a lot of these guys, what you find in the manosphere, especially in the black manosphere, right? This is why I tell y'all, a lot of times the shit is a class situation, all right? And to be fair, Anton says the same things. He just completely ignores where he comes from, though. That's the most annoying part of this whole thing, right? Because we know where he came from, and we're gonna remind y'all on this platform. Matter of fact, I think that's the video we're gonna cover first. If y'all don't mind, I gotta get in the opportunity to roast this guy first, and then we're gonna move in to the main meat and potatoes. Because I mean, Jesus Christ, bro! Like the fact that you guys, you Angry Man, you always take these opportunities to just shit on black folks it's honestly just kind of disgusting. All right, we've seen it with the Pearl situation. Matter of fact, this guy Anton Daniels tried to flag down my channel all because I was reacting to Pearl. All right, so it's like you will not find a bigger snake in the manosphere than this guy Anton. Okay, so the fact that he's using this whole Andrew Tate thing to kind of shit on black people, I'm not surprised. All right, they use the whole Pearl situation being racist to shit on black people. Oh, why wouldn't y'all sign the contract? I would have signed the contract. I would. No, wait. I wouldn't have signed it because I'm Anton Daniels. But y'all could have signed it. See, this is why black folks can't get ahead. Y'all always complaining and whining. All right, y'all always asking for reparations. He's obsessed with this reparation argument because he does not believe that black people deserve reparations. And now, obviously, you guys watch this channel. I am on the opposite side of that coin. All right, I definitely believe black folks deserve reparations because we have been through a lot. All right, and this is coming from a Nigeria. All right, my ancestors were enslaved. I'm not the FBA or whatever the fuck you want to call it. All right. But coming here and being treated as a black man in America, it's not, it's like, trust me, there's a lot to it. And once you start looking at the systemic injustice involved in a lot of these, it's so surprising that even black folks like Anton Daniels and even guys like Angry Man seem to just easily forget all of that shit. All right. And then they just look at you and say, you don't deserve anything. What are you talking about? Pick yourself up by the bootstraps. What the fuck are we talking about here? That shit just gets me so goddamn like just weirded out that people just buy into these far right narratives that don't even make sense for them. Like it doesn't work for you because these far right people are the biggest welfare queens out there. So don't let them fool you out of the money you deserve. All right. So let me go ahead and pull up this video real quick, and then we're gonna react to it in all of its glory, and then we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and play Willie Mack's video because I think he did a great job exposing the many lies Andrew Tate has been telling out here. So here we go. Y'all let me know if y'all can hear the audio.
Or to my COO, I'll say, look, either get one killer or three normal people. Because that's the reality. That's the basic. You either need three people to have to do the job or you need one killer to do the job. And I think that those three people who have to do their jobs, enough to not get fired, they turn up most of it on time, but they're not really that motivated. Those are ones who have to fear AI. I think businesses in the medium term are going to become killers in AI. I tell them now, I have some guys who work for me on one particular company and their sales staff. I was reading through the sales scripts. The killers are doing really well. But the average guys have said, you're not doing much better than ChatGPT could do right now. I want to warn you that you're not doing much better than I can replace you with a machine today, let alone 5 years from now, for free. You need to be careful. So I think it's just becoming more and more competitive. The idea that you can just be Joe Schmo, do your job, turn up, I don't try that hard, it's fine. I think that's all going to go out the window.
And it's already going out the window. And this is why I keep trying to convince people that it's a class war and it's not a race war. While y'all are so busy fighting these wars and trying to get reparation and trying to stay on code and all of this other type of stuff, technology and money, really, it's only two things. It's only two things because money is the thing. Commerce, I'm not even going to say money. Commerce, the exchange of goods and services in order to be able to feed your face and then determine who it is that controls what happens in the world. That's commerce.
That's not
commerce. And who it is has what?
It's like this guy pretends to know business and economics, but like you could just tell he's trying so goddamn hard. Well, feeding your family, that's commerce. No, it's practice. It's trade. It's trade between either merchants and people or nations themselves. All right. So I don't know what the fuck is.
It's largely going to be the determining factor for whether or not you're successful or not. And so the difference is that when I hear people say stuff like, "Oh man, 40,000 is enough, 50,000 is enough," we don't even have that no more. Thank God y'all came to the light and seen that $40,000 is not enough to raise a family of 4 or 5. Okay. But when you see people and they just want to show up in order to get a paycheck, he is absolutely right. That is going to be the separation between the haves and the have-nots.
First of all, see, this is why I can't stand when people like this all of a sudden act all elitist, okay? You're acting like there are people out there who are just sitting and just waiting to just have the handouts for the government. And actually, you're right. There are people out there that are usually found on both sides, either the far left or the far right, all right? But the vast majority of people, they want to earn money. They want the work. It's just that there's certain economical situations that's going on that is limiting a lot of people. For instance, home purchasing for a lot of young people right now is increasingly becoming out of reach. Why? Because you got the government who's subsidizing the housing market right now. All right. They're massively just inflating these numbers where the market wouldn't crash. And because we don't have an actual crash, it doesn't give the opportunity for young folks to get in at the right time and make new people who are going to be wealthy, new people who are going to be homeowners, right? So instead, we have a situation where we have rising rent prices and rising home prices, all right? There are a lot of young people that are going to be trapped in this fucked up situation that we're in right now. So just because you were in that situation at one point, made it rich on YouTube by faking it till you make it, does not mean that these economic conditions still don't exist, all right? Just because you don't battle them every day does not mean that you can just come on YouTube and just say, oh, well, I've been telling people, y'all, listen, y'all, it's going to get harder, all right? See, I told y'all just need to work. All y'all just want to sit there and show up and wait for a paycheck. Huh? See, y'all lazy. Y'all reparations, wanting ass. Y'all just want to sit there and wait for a paycheck to come. All right, you got to work. All right, y'all. No, that's not how that works. All right, you can work your goddamn claws to the bone, but if we have rising inflation, we have rising prices in food and gas and all these other energy and things that we need, it's not going to fucking matter. All right, and you're an employer. You're the one who was advocating for them slave wage that Pearl had, right? That was you, Anton. All right, we forgot about that, right? You said that black people, this is the reason why they couldn't get ahead is because they couldn't sign on to a 360 Pearly contract. All right, that was you. So you got to understand. Your mindset is just like a lot of employers here in America. All right, wages have not risen to match inflation. So a lot of people, no matter what you say, are gonna be stagnant, no matter how hard they work, unless they get 2-3 jobs. But even at the end of the day, what are we doing here? So you just nonchalantly just throwing that shit out there. It just irks me to the bone, Chad. I can't stand that shit.
There will be no more middle class. It's only gonna be, like he would say, killers. I say savages. Is going to be people that are high performers and savages, and those are the ones that don't sleep. Those are the ones that's obsessed with success. Those are the ones that's dedicated, and they're gonna learn from everybody regardless of what they look like. And they're not necessarily gonna be on code just based off of who you are, but based off of culture. That is what the thing. You are 100% right, Santandra. It's classism. It's always been classism. Black people own slaves. A lot of people don't want to acknowledge that. They don't want to have a conversation about that. They don't really want to look at that.
Just out of nowhere. Just, we talking economics. Black people own slaves. See, y'all don't want to talk about it. Y'all don't want to talk about it, but I know the truth. All right, we own slaves too. All right, we're not all that bad. Oh fucking God. Like, listen, like, why did you have to say that, bro? Like, first of all, you're reacting to Andrew Tate. He's a trafficker, and I don't know if you know this, but he's a black man too. So I don't know what kind of message you're trying to get across here. But where did that come from? Like, you see what I mean? Do you see what I mean about a lot of these crooks in the black manosphere? Do you see what I mean? Right? It's just out of nowhere. I feel like they have these deep resentment for their own people, bro. Like, I kid you not, bro. Like, where did that come from? Yeah, nobody want to talk about it, but y'all, black people own slaves too. Yeah. See, that's why y'all can't get ahead. Y'all need to be slave owners. Yeah, you see me, Anton? I got my Patreon squad. All right, these bag chasers. They think they chasing a bag, but they on that whip. You know what I'm saying? Because Anton got to make that bread. Yo, hey, bro, you got to slow down. Like, I don't know why you randomly be bringing up these fucking crazy ass stats, but Andrew Tate's black too. I hope you know this. So this juxtaposition you're trying to create here does not compute. But let's see where this logic is going. Hold up, Francois, shout out to you for the $5 super chat. He says, "What I find funny is I'm pretty sure most of these guys invest in the technologies like AI, so I find them so hypocritical." Facts, right? And some of them, they try to get creative, like, oh yeah, AI is taking your job. Anton is going to do this. I guarantee you, he is going to be doing this crap, all right? What he's going to do is he's going to say, oh, Anton, he's going to say, listen, AI is taking over. I keep telling y'all black folks, y'all want this, because he preys on black people. This is why I have to criticize this dude, all right? Because he preys on black people. He pretends he knows real estate. He pretends he knows finance. He pretends he knows all of this crap, but if you actually press him, it's all just basic surface level shit, all right? But what he's going to do is he's going to use this whole AI thing, because ChatGPT and a lot of these AI generated projects are coming out now. He's gonna say, well, black folks, you see, we're behind right now, all right, and this is why we can't get ahead. So if you want to go ahead and understand how to use AI effectively and capitalize on it, go ahead and sign up for my Patreon. Even though this guy right here. This discount drinking Rick Ross over here, all right? Even though he has no experience with AI, no experience with even just basic business concept, all right? He's going to try to tell you that he has the answers on how you can be successful. You just got to pay him. See, this is why we listen, we can't as a people keep falling for these bozos. We can't keep doing this to ourselves, because deep down, I genuinely think they don't like black folks. So like, these are black people that don't like black people. That's what I'm starting to understand. Even Andrew Tate, we're not excluding him, because he only mentions being black when he's locked up and he needs sympathy. That's when his blackness comes in and the whole family concept comes in. But everything else, he wants to side with everything. Like, bruh, like, we're not stupid. But I digress. Let's continue.
And not necessarily going to be on code just based off of who you are, but based off of culture. That is what the thing. You are 100% right, Santandra. And they're going to learn from everybody, regardless of what they look like. And they're not necessarily going to be on code just based off of who you are, but based off of culture. That is what the thing. You are 100% right, Santandra. It's classism. It's always been classism. Black people own slaves. A lot of people don't want to acknowledge that. They don't want to have a conversation about that. They don't really want to look at that. Black people owned slaves. If you're not continuously trying to reinvent yourself, we see people on YouTube every single day.
Wait, what does all of that have to do with that random shit you just brought up about black people owning slaves? What if we don't adapt? Do you want us to all be sellouts like you? Is that what you're asking for? Because we know how you were behaving before you had all that YouTube money and bag chaser money, and then all of a sudden now you got these people paying you on Patreon, and all of a sudden now you're different because you switched up your strategy. First of all, what point were you trying to make by saying black people own slaves? Like, what the fuck does that have to do with anything? See, this is what I mean, chat. I genuinely don't think these people will care about black folks, bro.
Every single day. They was hot last year. They was hot the year before. And they've completely lost their flame, and ain't nobody even checking for them whatsoever. They not even trying to continue because they didn't have the endurance. They didn't have the innovation. They didn't have the growth. They didn't have the opportunity. We see people every day just completely fade off into oblivion, and we don't even know who they are no more. The high performers, the ones that get it, the ones that chase it, the ones that's trying to continue to reinvent themselves and improve their skills. Even if you was a software engineer in 1990 is completely different than a software engineer in 2023. You have to continuously reinvent yourself, improve your skills, get new skills, throw yourself into it. It's a whole nother mindset that comes with being successful. And it's going to be an even bigger shift and a bigger separation based off of class and based off of mindset that determines who's successful and who's not. He is 100% right. Artificial intelligence is here, it's been here, and it's absolutely going to change the way in which we do business.
As the world becomes
wait, time out. Why don't we talk about how we can further integrate artificial intelligence in society where people don't feel like they're going to be replaced, right? You see how you're joining that conversation or that side of the fence of people who are saying, well, you better hop on the fence and move along, right? You guys are, see, this is the problem. Eventually, all of you guys are going to get replaced. That's what you don't understand. And if we're not actively pressing the government on ways to figure out how, with the growth of AI, how that's going to help bring everybody up instead of a few people who are going to be able to have the money to capitalize on it, that's the type of conversation we need to be having. Because at the end of the day, it's not just going to come for just the people who are working the C-suite jobs or desk jobs or everything like that. It's going to come for everybody. All right, that's just what it is, dude. Before you know it, who needs to go into a bank anymore? Who's going to need bankers? Who's going to need bank tellers? Who's going to need financial advisors when you can do and have an AI do all of that for you with precision accuracy? All right, so eventually all these other guys who are trying to do these, white collar or blue, you're gonna be replaced. So it's better to be having this conversation now in society about like AI and how we can further integrate it into our society, not in the ways where you got these big captains of industries dominating the resources for it, but how we can basically spread it around so everybody elevates. Because your future, or at least what you're trying to put out there, is going to be a reality if we don't have these conversations. But we're not having these conversations. Instead, people like you and Andrew Tate like to point the finger and make this out to be a boogeyman rather than offering up real solutions. That's why a lot of this AI and all this bullshit, it's all just scare tactics these bozos use.
As a company, you have to compete with your competitors, and the only way you're going to be able to do that is just where do you cut the fat? Where do you cut the slack? When I see AI popping up and getting more and more intelligent in the way it's talking, That doesn't scare me. By the way, with words. If I was Joe Schmo, I'd be afraid.
Bro, you would be replaced instantly, Andrew Tate. I'm sorry, bro. Like, you're kidding me? You don't think that AI can take all of the shit that you've ever said online, process it, and basically be able to pretend that it's you? They already have people doing that with like Trump and shit, bro. You will be replaced. You're not special. Just because you have a way with words doesn't mean a robot can't replace it, bro. Before you know it, then you people, all you have to do is type in a script or upload a script, right? And you just hit the play button, and then you can live stream, and the AI will just be like an AI version of you. Y'all know how they have that those AI photos that a lot of y'all are taking, right? You have those AI photos. Imagine you have the AI video version of you, and it just reads off the script, but with your personality. I could see a future with that. Where content creators don't even have to be content creators no more. Just sit back, upload a script, and let your AI do it for you. I mean, what they call it? Your pocket AI or whatever it is, right? Your mini AI. You're going to have your digital self online. I mean, this is what it is. So by guys like you, Andrew Tate, you think you're great, you're going to be replaced. It is what it is.
This chat GPT can probably text your girl better than you can. He'll probably get laid faster than you will.
Advice for the guys out there.
Yeah,
right?
just plug it into your phone.
Could you imagine that? Dudes using chat GPT in order to be able to spit game over the chicks? This is a wild world that we live in. I don't want no parts of it. I think I was born at exactly the right time, just enough to be able to enjoy the best of it and then watch as it completely self-destructs.
Than you do. So that's scary, you know? And I think that's what the average man really needs to struggle. And I've been saying this has been my message for a very long time in all realms. I've said for a very long time that life for the average man is going to get harder and harder. It's becoming more and more competitive. You need to find more and more ways to stand out and be unique. And the only way to really do those things, unfortunately, as a man, is to suffer. And that's one of the reasons I'm kind of glad.
Now that's the part that people don't want to. They don't want to really do it. The separation between the people that become great and the people that not is suffering. Suffering gives you thick skin. Suffering allows for you to learn the lessons that ensure that you can endure long enough to get to the success. Suffering gives you life lessons. Suffering, there's growth in suffering, failing forward. So many people don't want to fail, and they so afraid of somebody criticizing them from failing that they never even really step off of the porch. They so busy trying to be safe. I don't know.
What are you talking about? You're the same one that try to take down our channel, talk about people afraid being criticized because we criticize you for, making a horrible decision of backing someone like Just Pearly Things. You tried to take down my channel, you bozo. I hate these guys, bro. They sit there, pretend like they're stoic and above the fray and, all this nonsense. And they're the first ones that the moment you criticize them, they can't handle the suffering. MLD wants to talk about, just endure. The moment he got that heat, he couldn't endure. Y'all the type of niggas that can't endure suffering. Y'all are cheats. That's all you are. Matter of fact, hold up. I got to pull up a video of Anton, all right? Because every time I react to Anton, I've made it my mission to play the old Anton and how contradictory this man is compared to the new Anton now, all right? And I just find it hilarious that people like this who obviously were part of that group before can come online, pretend to be something they're not, and then all of a sudden tell you that, no, it's hard work that got me here. No, all you had to do was go on YouTube and lie, because the manosphere, especially the red pill, are filled with guys who are desperately looking for daddy figures. And if you're that kind of guy that can represent an image of someone who's successful, rich, and has it all, right? That's just what they're going to buy into, and you capitalized on it. But other than that, bro, you lied. You're no different than anybody else on the internet that's pretending to do it. Even Andrew Tate, the same guy you're defending, bro, he faked it till he made it. All right, just like y'all. Matter of fact, let me pull up this video.
Daniels is a YouTuber who is bragging about his money and begging people to join his Patreon. This video is to look at the paperwork and see if he's actually who he says he is, or if he's lying to the YouTube community. We don't like liars, and we like good character. We like people who are honest. So let's look at it.
Let me show you my Versace sandals. My Versace. They kick.
One thing that I never, ever do, is finance anything.
Yo, this is where he capping, y'all, and I'm going to hold him accountable. Pay attention to what just happened.
Anton Daniels says he doesn't finance anything, but these documents tell a different story. In 2019, he was ordered to pay $15,000 to Discover Card. $8,000 to American Express, and $3,900 to Ford Motor Credit Company.
Damn, bruh. Damn, bruh. Sitting there lying. I never financed anything because I'm Anton. I got the bag like that. Yeah, I never financed anything. Bro, you're in debt. You're still in debt, bro. You got credit card debt. You got all these loan debts, and now you're trying to buy a Lambo, bro. Like, you're in debt. We know who you were before this, bro. Why you lying?
2 credit cards and 1 car note. For a man who does not finance anything, why does he owe these creditors money? In this video clip, Anton is going to give you a tour of the millionaire master bedroom. This is the millionaire master bedroom. Let's check it out.
Attire for today. Got the purple socks to match the purple shirt, blue pants, standard attire. Nothing out of the ordinary. Just a couple of the things that I carry with me. I keep 2 cell phones. I run 4 numbers in between it. A little bit of cash or whatever, about $2,000 on me. I don't usually take this.
And so he has no nerve calling anybody dusty, bragging about his money, because this master suite is looking dusty. I'm sorry. It is.
This is what my budget is for the week. I don't know if you can even see that.
Look at this. He honestly wants y'all to believe that this is what he was spending every week. $38,000 a week. That's bullshit, bro. That's fucking bullshit, bro. Especially when you were just talking about earlier, you couldn't afford courtside tickets to Detroit Pistons. Now, this was all before he got the bag chasers to pay for the bill. All right, this was all that, and y'all think he upgraded from that millionaire apartment? No, bro. He went from a millionaire condo to a millionaire apartment. That's where he films the majority of his videos from, bro. It's an apartment. Matter of fact, we know exactly where that is. Bro, it's an apartment, bro. So, like, listen, these guys, bottom line, they come on YouTube and they lie. Andrew Tate comes on YouTube, he lies, okay? Realistically, if you guys want the honest truth, you're the ones making them filthy rich. It's just sad that they're too bitch to be honest about it.
And so your receipt for $38,000, and he says that's his weekly budget, $38,000. He said that's his piss money. But in this next video, he's going to talk about not being able to afford to sit courtside at a Detroit Pistons game. FYI, it only costs $1,700 for a courtside seat at a Pistons game. If you buy season tickets, it is $1,700 a game. That's not a lot of money. Let's listen.
You always want to upgrade, so it's like I'm not going to be satisfied till I'm sitting center court for the whole season. Hey, how you doing?
Now in this next clip, we're going to hear him talk about his profitable restaurant, the restaurant that closed after only 2 years in business. He says it was profitable, but I have paperwork that says otherwise. Check it out.
Really, really fun ride. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot. You know, I got the type of education that you can't get, and I was profitable. You know, a lot of people can't say that they was profitable.
That's a goddamn lie. He's getting sued. There's an active lawsuit right now between him and the guy that owns the property that he had his restaurant through. He wasn't profitable. You can't be profitable and go bankrupt. How the fuck does that even make sense? Yeah, I went bankrupt, but the one thing y'all can't deny, I was profitable, okay? Even though we're bankrupt, I was profitable. Nigga, that don't make sense, though, because if you were profitable, you wouldn't have gone bankrupt, right? I mean, can we be honest about that? Come on, dog. No, I love this. I love this because guys like this love to just cap for no goddamn reason when it's just, all you need to do is just be honest, my guy. You're sitting there trying to look down on people, right, who isn't as wealthy as you pretend to be, all right? But realistically, bro, you're not humble. We know exactly where you came from, bro. You're not this business master that knows everything, bro. You don't even know the basis of real estate. Let's just be honest, though. You don't even know the basics of real estate, not even residential or commercial. Like, you don't get it. That's why you are being sued right now. All right. So, I mean, what are we talking about here? But I digress. Let's continue.
And
I was one of the fortunate ones that actually really did still have the capital to be able to do so without taking out loans or taking on partners or anything like that. But a lot of people don't. And what you find is that
Yo, this is where he capping, y'all, and I'm gonna hold him accountable. Pay attention to what just happened.
Now, according to the state of Michigan in a UCC filing, Anton Daniels and Sweet Soul Kitchen LLC, they are both in debt to Thomas Hospitality Group. They are in debt. They owe money, and this UCC filing is a lien. They need to pay up. That lien, it's still active. Let me show you where you can go find it. Sweet Soul Kitchen has 3 active liens. There's 2 UCC liens and 1 state tax lien. They are in debt.
Look at this.
They owe money and or property. That is a fact.
And you know what's crazy, Chad? He still tells this lie. Like the evidence isn't out there. Like we can't just pull up his receipts right now and basically call him out, right? He keeps telling the story, and it's like, bruh, you need to chill on this. You're like, you think people are idiots? Maybe the people who are following you and they don't want to do the research or whatever it is, right? But like, dog, like it's cap. You're in debt. You are being sued. You owe money. And the thing is, there's nothing wrong with any of this, right? It's just that these guys, they come online just to lie, to pretend they're better than you. And then they craft these weirdo messages talking about, oh, this is why you need to be better. This is why you got to pull yourself up by the bootstrap. It's like, bruh, if it wasn't for your fan base and your bag chasers, you would be nothing.
He has a UCC lien. He is in debt. He owes money and or property. That is a fact. He owes it to Thomas Hospitality Group. Now we have another document showing that the Sweet Soul Kitchen LLC was dissolved February 18th, 2020. The UCC filing was filed January 5th.
That was 3 years ago, chat. Just for perspective, that was 3 years ago. Barely 3 years ago.
2020. So you see the filing was completed January, and then they went to dissolve the LLC in February. We don't know if he's if he's trying to run away from that debt, right? Because he told you guys that he doesn't finance anything. But according to the state of Michigan, he's in debt. He owes some money. So for a man that's balling out of control, multi-millionaire, why you can't pay your bills, player? I'm just saying. Somebody ain't telling the truth.
watch how we bring it out of him. And when people ask me, or when I ask, what are you looking for? When somebody say happiness, that's a red flag for me. It's a immediate red flag. I don't believe in happiness. I believe in chasing growth.
That my focus is not ever really completely on money. And I'm not telling you not to be successful. Be successful in everything you do. What I'm saying is be happy. Focus on what fulfills you as a purpose. Because if you go through life and you never really do what you were meant to do, but you made a lot of money doing it, what have you really accomplished?
Whoa. This Anton with a hairline. All right, this nigga speaking something different. He's saying something different from the Anton we seeing over here caping for Andrew Tate. Because you talking about, I care about happiness, and happiness is okay. You're right. Guys, people talk about money. Soulless people, okay? Happiness is all that matters, all right? This is what it is. Fast forward to post YouTube money, and all of a sudden, see, I told y'all life is about suffering, all right? It's AI and the money, all right? It's all about money, all about, you see what I mean? You see the transformation these bozos go through, all right? This is what I'm saying. You listen, these guys, when you look at their past and what they're trying to tell you to do, look at how they got rich, okay? Before you buy any of their courses or buy any of their programs, just look at how they made it rich. You see these guys caping for each other. I'm not surprised that Andrew Tate, Anton Daniels is caping for Andrew Tate, because they both have similar backgrounds, all right? They like to pretend they were both millionaires before they got to YouTube. They like to pretend that they have this voice or this message they're trying to get out through their voice. And it's like, bruh, you're just saying average generic shit. That's just what it is. But the only difference is you're flashing and flexing your wealth or your perceived wealth in front of other people that genuinely either don't care or they're just watching because they want to live vicariously through you. And that's the thing that these bozos don't understand. Like, it's a completely night and day different with what this guy is talking about with AI and working versus like what he's actually saying before.
The way in which we do business.
Because as the world becomes more competitive, as a company, you have to compete with your competitors. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is just talking.
Exactly the right time. Just enough to be able to improve three. That they're lost their flame and ain't nobody even checking for them whatsoever. They not even trying to continue because they didn't have the endurance, they didn't have the innovation, they didn't have the growth, they didn't have the opportunity. We see people every day just completely fade off into oblivion and we don't even know who they are no more. The high performers, the ones that get it, the ones that chase it, the ones that's trying to continue to reinvent themselves and improve their skills. Even if you was a software engineer in 1990 is completely different than a software engineer in 2023. You have to continuously reinvent yourself, improve your skills, get new skills, throw yourself into it. It's a whole nother mindset that comes with being successful, and it's going to be an even bigger shift and a bigger separation based off of class and based off of mindset that determines who's successful and who's not. He is 100% right. Artificial intelligence is here, it's been here, and it's absolutely going to change the way in which we do business.
Oh, okay.
We don't know if he's right.
We bring it out of him. And when people ask me, or when I ask, what are you looking for? When somebody say happiness, that's a red flag for me. It's an immediate red flag. I don't believe in happiness. I believe in chasing growth.
That my focus is not ever really completely on money. And I'm not telling you not to be successful. Be successful in everything you do. What I'm saying is be happy. Focus on what fulfills you as a purpose. Because if you go through life and you never really do what you were meant to do, but you made a lot of money doing it, what have you really accomplished?
If you see people that continue to tell you that money don't mean nothing or money don't make you happy, start to look at them a little bit crooked, because it's a bold-faced lie and it's an excuse as to why they can't be whatever it is that they want to be.
Personally, I want to build a legacy. I can't do that if I'm 100% focused on money. Money don't...
Oh my God, it seems like old Anton is saying something different than new Anton, because new Anton over here, he's saying something completely different.
While y'all are so busy fighting these wars and trying to get reparation and trying to stay on code and all of this other type of stuff, technology and money, really, it's only two things. It's only two things, because money is the thing. Commerce, I'm not even gonna say money. Commerce, the exchange of goods and services in order to be able to feed your face and then determine who it is that controls what happens in the world. That's commerce.
No, hey, stupid. Commerce is trade, buying and selling between people or countries. It's like you're trying to act like you know what's going on. Like, that's not what commerce means. Like, I mean, I guess if you want to take care, like if you want to buy, I don't know, bro. Like, he's like putting definitions to something that don't even, that it doesn't even match, bro. Like, this dude is crazy.
Commerce and who it is has what is largely going to be the determining factor for whether or not you're successful or not. And so the difference is that when I hear people say stuff like, oh man, 40,000 is enough, 50,000 is enough, we don't even have that no more. Thank God y'all came to the light and seen that $40,000 is not enough to raise a family of 4 or 5, okay? But when you see people and they just want to show up in order to get a paycheck, he is absolutely right. That is going
percent focused on money. Money don't mean anything. It's a means to take care of the things that you need to take care of, and it's not the measure by which I want to be evaluated in my lifetime. I want to be, I guess the point that I'm trying to make is it's just important to have that work-life balance. It's just important to have that work-life balance.
And it's already gone out the window. And this is why I keep trying to convince people that it's a class war and it's not a race war. While y'all are so busy fighting these wars and trying to get reparation and trying to stay on code and all of this other type of stuff, technology and money, really, it's only two things. It's only two things, because money is the thing. Commerce, I'm not even gonna say money. Commerce, the exchange of goods and services in order to be able to feed your face and then determine who it is that controls what happens in the world. That's commerce.
No, it's not. I'm glad you were able to specify, how money and how important it is, right? See, listen, I'm not going to deny that money is not important. Obviously, it's important, but I just find it interesting that the message you were promoting before is completely different than the messaging you're promoting now. And then come to think about it, you're the same one that's talking about all these people are being sensitive, asking for money, or doing all these crazy shit, but you're the main one that should be talking, dog. Like, you want to talk about sensitive, you want to talk about sensitive, like, bro, you're the one who expects everyone to be blindly loyal to you just because you helped them out in some kind of way, shape, or form. Like, y'all remember what he did with Six the Goddess? Let me see if I can pull that video up. Y'all remember what the whole situation with Six the Goddess, bro? This shit was hilarious.
You always say you don't know what someone is talking about.
What did I lie about specifically?
What did you come on here to say, Anton?
I came to say that this is some fake shit, Six, because you know you got my number in real life.
What
and
do I need to say?
anytime, no, if you're gonna let me speak, let me speak. Anytime that anybody has ever had a question, you know we didn't always reached out to each other. I even when motherfuckers that I was rocking with, that I was paying, that I was having conversations with, when they was coming against you, I never turned on you. And no, hold on. You know this. You know this because we had real conversations in person. You sat in my crib and we had these conversations. You know I defended you. You know I ain't never mentioned your name one time. We didn't always disagree on almost everything that we stood on. Me and you had a conversation about how much we disagreed in my motherfucking kitchen. And I told you specifically, I said, yo, if you ever got a problem with me, if you ever have any disagreement with me, all you got to do is hit me personally, and I will tell you to your face whether or not I got a disagreement with you. And then next thing you know, I look up and I see my name in your mouth publicly. And it's like, wait a minute. How is my name in her mouth publicly when specifically me and you agreed that if we ever had a problem with each other, we would call each other directly?
It was in my kitchen.
I don't understand. Like, how you gonna say one thing publicly and then move differently privately when me and you personally had a conversation and we agreed how we was gonna move when it came to each other?
That's the problem with this guy, right? He would talk shit about anyone and everyone he wants to on the internet, but the moment somebody drops a video on him without letting him know, all right, especially if you got the number, all of a sudden he's having a freak out. But this is the same bozo that likes to tell everyone else that they're emotional, everyone else they like to sit there and cry, everyone else that can't handle criticism. Here it is. Your old buddy criticized you, all right, and you got mad because they didn't call you first. Six! Why didn't you call me, Six? Why didn't you call me? I told you if you and I ever had a problem, you gotta hit me up. Six! My goddess, why? Why'd you gotta do a video? I thought we had a connection. Six! It was you, me, and Rita in the kitchen. We were sitting right here. I told you if you had any problem, you just come talk to me because I know you, Six. Six. It was me, you, and Rita. Rita, get over here. You could have just called me. We could have talked about this. We could have done something before you went to YouTube. Rita, get your ass over here. Tell this bitch what she told me in the kitchen. You remember what she said? Why, Six? This dude was crying like a whole baby. And meanwhile, this red pill daddy over here, his wife was sitting right there while he's online crying to another woman. I'm telling you, bro, if this guy didn't tell you he was married, you wouldn't realize he was married. That's what I'm talking about. A lot of these manosphere guys, they promote this debaucherous mentality and these ideologies. But meanwhile, they want to sweep it under the rug and talk about, no, it's all about family values. It's all about traditional values and all this bullshit. No, it's not that. These dudes don't give a fuck about family. Don't give a fuck about none of that. Okay, these dudes are preaching this high value bullshit because at the end of the day, it's an outlet for them to get laid. Okay, that's just what it is. At least using their money, status, and wealth. Okay, so listen, when it comes to bozos like Anton, y'all just got to be careful. And the reason why I had to cover him is because he's one of these black what do you call it? The black manosphere. I like black folks gravitate to him, which I don't know why. Like, you are being scammed by this guy. All right. But it's when I see him putting stuff up there that don't even make sense to the Andrew Tate case, and they're all just blindly talking about, oh, he's innocent. There's no evidence. It's like, bro, now we got to get on you. We got to get on your ass, because we need to remind the people how much your words are actually worth in the streets. Okay, it's nothing, because you've been proven to be a liar, deceiver. Even your own friends don't even want to deal with you no more, bro. Like, you fake. It's just what it is, dog. So let's just go. Let's just leave it at that. All right. And realistically, bro, Anton, if you didn't have to bring black people and slavery into this, we could have just let you go. We could have just let this go. But listen, I can't stand when a lot of these manosphere black dudes always shit on black people when it comes down to protecting their red pill content creators. This is what it is, bro. I can't stand that. Let's go into Willie Mack, bro, because Willie Mack broke down some real shit about Andrew Tate, and it was crazy. Be too cool. Shout you for the $10 super chat. He says, yo, what's up, Brody? Anton probably got his flatline real estate skills from Zesty TV. Facts. Hey, y'all know he's off of YouTube, bro. Hey, this is the same guy. That randomly started a war with me. All right. And he's like, Duke, I'm gonna lap you, bro. I'm gonna lap you, bro. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. John, shout out to me the $2 super chat. He says, nah, he and Marquardt got the same degree. They're exactly the same people. This is what I'm trying to say, bro. You can't trust these fools. Eat Black TV. He says, R.I.P. Zesty Boy TV. He's gold. Listen, bro, like you come to the internet with that kind of attitude. I told y'all he's not gonna last long. That's why y'all were looking at me like, Duke, why did you sever relationships so quick? I'm like, the moment I figured out who this dude was, I don't want to get dragged down with him. He's going towards the self-destructive path. And you know what? He has no one else to blame, but not only himself, but the people that supported the style of content that he was doing. Y'all gotta blame yourselves too, because y'all encourage this bullshit. Let's just be real. The times where he should have just shut the fuck up and actually made it about their talking points and not about personal attacks. Y'all didn't want that. Y'all wanted him to go deep into people's lives and try to expose them and all these different things. And guess what? Now he's no more. So, I mean, I guess it is what it is, bro. But yeah, I mean, I knew he was gonna last long. It is what it is. Let's get to Willie Mack real quick, because this shit was crazy.
Tate has had a rough 2023. He's been locked up in prison and then under house arrest since December of 2022, and he's now been officially charged. And Andrew Tate took no time to respond, for some reason comparing himself to an actual predator.
It was really interesting to do a juxtaposition and do a comparison, right, between how they will treat Philip Schofield, who is confirmed as a groomer, who is admitting he has committed sexual crimes, and how they'll treat me.
Yo, this guy's lawyers have to be freaking out. This, I think, gives me a good excuse to talk about Andrew Tate, because when you really break it down, he's the reason why all this red pill stuff is blown up over the past year. All these guys try to be Andrew Tate. Sneeko got the same haircut as Andrew Tate. And as you'll soon find out, they're all about as dishonest as Tate too. Now, I don't want to say if Tate is 100% guilty or not, because we just can't know until the trial concludes. And anybody who says otherwise is talking out their ass. But what we can do is break down all the information that's publicly available. And there's tons. Andrew and Tristan have been caught in some very obvious lies, skewing the truth. And today we're going to expose it.
Let's go! Get the
charges that are officially filed are rape, instigating violence, and the big one, which is trafficking women by seducing them and falsely claiming they want a relationship or marriage with them. These girls would then be stuck in Romania webcamming for the Tates. Trafficking legally falls under 3 categories, as this criminal lawyer describes it.
Sex trafficking, there's 3 unless you're dealing with underage, when we don't have any evidence that anybody's underage, but we have 3 things: force, fraud, or coercion. Force, obviously, that's like being in chains and not being allowed to leave. Fraud, being kept there under false pretenses. If there's an element of fraud in the way that you are enticing somebody or keeping somebody in a particular position to work for you, and if it's in the sex business, that's trafficking.
Andrew Tate admits this in his online course in pimping. He says he lies to the girls to get them to fall in love with him, saying they'll be in a relationship or married, when they won't be, in order to get them to fly out to Romania and work for him.
So the recruitment process
hold on. Before he even plays this, you will find a bunch of people right the fuck now, dog, on the internet saying, no, that's not trafficking. Oh, because they can't prove trafficking. Look at the video. Did you see the video of the girls walking around the compounds? They could have left any time. That's not trafficking, bruh. Listen, coercion, manipulation, all that stuff that they just broke down, that's all part of it, bro. You got people to come to a different country, other fraud, you coerced them under fraudulent pretenses, and you kept them there. That's just what it is. He even did videos telling you all about that. So when I'm sitting here listening to y'all saying there's no evidence, it's like, what kind of crack are y'all smoking? Like, honestly, I mean, it must be some good ass shit, because realistically, I don't know how you can sit there, support the crap that he says, the self-incriminating bullshit that he says, y'all will sit there and support it, but then when the prosecutors are using the same self-incriminating bullshit that y'all supported against them, y'all gonna put the blinders on and say, no, there's no evidence. Of course there's no evidence. It's a witch hunt. You know, they got Trump too. They're getting Tate. It's like, bro, come on, bro. The cognitive dissonance is insane.
Name is the PhD course. You message them on Instagram. I don't mention webcam until after I've had sex with the girl. If you're on dates and you're trying to mention it and shit, it just doesn't work. It puts them off. I'd never do that. That's disgusting. I'm not a it's just not gonna work. If she passes the PhD test and she wants to be with you.
The PhD test. Meanwhile, PhD was the name of the pimp. What is it? Is it Pimpin Hose University or something like that, or Pimpin Hose degree? Because somebody let me know what PhD stand for, but it was like Pimpin Hose degree or some shit like that, right? He's teaching y'all that. He's breaking this shit down. You gonna say he's innocent, bro? Pat Freeman, shout out to you for the $2 super chat. He says, what kind of man calls himself zesty? That's weird. No, he doesn't call himself zesty. He just is zesty. The problem is he likes to call other people zesty. This guy that we're talking about, all right, now that he's off of YouTube, he was actually one of the main reasons why we couldn't hold Pearl accountable. Y'all know that, right? When Pearl was going after Sarah Garvey, this guy, that Zesty TV guy, all right, he was the main reason why that whole movement fell apart, because then while everybody was going in on Pearl on behalf of Sarah Garvey, he then tries to expose Sarah Garvey as being gay, all right? Just because Sarah Garvey was an actor and he did some gay scenes, all right? Then we end up finding out that Zesty TV was doing some gay for pay shit too. So it's just like, bro, you just ridicule the whole guy for acting gay. He was gay for pay. He's not actually gay, but you use that to ridicule his whole character and shit like that. Meanwhile, you're known for doing the exact same shit. Like, you're a fucking hypocrite. You killed the whole movement all because you wanted the views and numbers. And he and his hateful little audience, they ran off with this. And now where is he at? Can't see him. He's gone. Bro, good riddance to that guy, bro. See, it's one thing, listen. It's one thing to criticize people, criticize your talking points, and let people know, hey, it's an alternative viewpoint out there that you can focus on that combats the current narrative these guys are spitting, right? But it's another thing to start going in, digging up actual personal dirt on people, and then exposing them online. That's crazy. That's doxing, okay? And listen, I'm not innocent, all right? But the only time I do it is to people that do it to other people, all right? That's just what it is. But it's one of those things where, listen, I would much rather focus on the hypocritical bullshit these guys are saying, all right, and call them out on that than digging into their personal lives, unless that's the move that they're willing to make, all right? And Zesty Boy tried to do that shit, didn't work, and then he's gone, bro. So I think y'all need to, listen, when it comes to this content creation shit, you got to be extremely careful. That's why I had to split with them over that Melanie King shit, because it was once I found out that he was faking the titles. He was clickbaiting people, right? He made it seem like Melanie King didn't have access to her kids. And I thought that's what he was reading off the documents. It turns out that wasn't on the document. He just made that up. And Melanie could have honestly just taken his channel down right then and there for doing that shit. All right. And I was like, yo, you trying to bring that to my channel? Get the fuck out of here, bro. I'm not trying to do that shit, bro. And then he wanted war with me. And it was crazy. He picked fights with everybody. All right. Tried to expose everybody. E-Black TV. He tried to do he sent face copyright strikes on live. He was sending false DMCA strikes against LTTV and E-Black TV, and now he's mad that somebody else that he went after flagged his shit and took him down. Bro, listen, you get the same energy you give. I mean, that's what it is. If you have no problems trying to take down other people's channel, you shouldn't be surprised why your got taken down. So he calls himself, he doesn't call himself Zesty TV, but he does some zesty ass shit. Let's continue.
This is the PhD test, by the way.
And this is the test. A quality woman, after you sleep with her, when your attention drops, will do anything it takes to get your attention back up, to retain you as a man. So a quality woman will bend her normal rules. A girl who would perhaps never buy you coffee is now prepared to do something for you, will bend her normal rules to get your attention back post-sex. If she passes the PhD test and she wants to be with you, then you start mentioning things like, yeah, but you're always busy. You're always at work. You can come work for me. She has to respect you and love you and want to work with you. And that's done through positively inspirational and motivating person.
He was very open about doing all of this on his course, which was on his website until he was arrested this year. Andrew writes, my job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, test if she's quality, get her to fall in love with me to where she'd do anything I'd say, and then get her on webcam. For fuck's sake, guys, he read, studied, and recommended books on pimping.
I'm going to send you a book. It's a guy called Pimpin Ken, who was a street pimp in the 90s, and he wrote a book, 50 Laws of the Game. And one of the laws of the game is a hoe without instruction is headed for destruction.
Now, the Tate's defense is essentially...
listen, I can't believe they got the president of the manosphere in 4K, bro. I can't believe they got the president of the manosphere in 4K while this nigga's self-snitching. This nigga is you self-snitching to the president of the manosphere, bro. What are we doing, bro? This nigga, but I don't blame him. A lot of these guys they need that interview because it's the clout thing. And again, Andrew Tate's name brings views. It is what it is, all right? So everybody is clamoring at the bits to get a piece of this guy. It is what it is.
Name is a hoe without instruction is headed for destruction.
Now, the Tate's defense has essentially been to just gaslight everybody. They say the webcam business hasn't existed in years. Sometimes it's 6 years.
How about the webcam business?
I'm not even in that. I haven't been in that business for like 6 years.
The Tate News account, which is constantly retweeted by them, says it was 10 years ago. Tristan says it was 4 years ago. Then just last week, Andrew Tate said, no, it actually was 10 years ago, even though 10 months earlier, he said it was only 6 years ago.
And which listen, I've been telling y'all this. He lies about the whole cam business. He was pretending that he was no longer running it. It was so long ago, but they just busted him. As recent as 2022. That's as recent as they got him. Bros, I'm telling y'all, this guy was not rich before he became YouTube Red Pill famous, all right? It's the fact that he funneled a bunch of these Red Pill standboys towards the accounts of OnlyFans girls he managed. That's what got him rich. So, of course, he's going to still be doing the same business. That business model that makes $600,000 a month, that's just not going to disappear like that, all right? Because that's a lot of money you're living on the table. Like, are you kidding me? Of course he's going to keep fueling that business and growing it, all right? That's what it is. So I just find it interesting that he puts all these mixed numbers out there and his fans are still going to believe the bullshit. They ask us, dude, where's the evidence? He's providing it for us right now.
And that was a past life. We're talking about something that happened 10 years ago.
It was that long ago.
It was about 10 years ago. Yeah, it was at the very beginning of it.
It's hands down the most inconsistent story on the internet, where every time I look into it, I discover yet another inconsistency. You're just saying he's still doing it 3 years ago.
Like, do you do that still?
I have 3 girls who still work for me.
The fact is, the webcam business does exist. It still exists. They just don't have the girls' webcam anymore. Instead, they use a combination of TikTok and OnlyFans. But don't be fooled, the business model remains the same. That business model being extract as much money out of simps as possible.
I'd pull in, let's say, $3,000 a day, $4,000 a day.
Yeah, I'm teaching guys how to run OnlyFans companies because OnlyFans is the best hustle in the world.
This is from 2020. Saying their webcam business doesn't exist anymore is a...
Y'all saying he's not going to get caught? Are y'all honestly saying he's not going to get caught? What the fuck, bro? Like, self-snitching to the highest order. Like, I don't get it, bro. Like, this is crazy. Like, even the shit that Willie Mack is pulling up right now, it's insane. Like, we know he's self-snitching, but this is crazy, bro. This is on a different level of snitching, bro.
Technicality. They're still doing it, just in a more modern way. Their new misdirection is saying that they were arrested for stealing girls' TikTok money.
I'm going to tell you what we are accused of, and I'm allowed to talk about this because it was on my arrest documents. Here is the official story. In 2021, 2 years ago, my brother and I formed an organized criminal gang with the intent of moving women to Romania so we could steal money from their TikTok accounts to enrich ourselves.
They were not arrested for stealing money from TikTok accounts. According to the Romanian Directorate for Investigation of Organized Crime and Terrorism, I had to translate a lot of this, so bear with me. At the beginning of 2021, the 4 defendants created a criminal group organized in order to commit the crime of human trafficking in the territory of Romania, but also in other countries such as the United States and Great Britain. The victims were recruited by the Tate brothers by misleading them about the intention to establish a marriage or cohabitation relationship in the existence of real feelings of love. The lover boy method of sex trafficking. Boy, does that sound familiar.
That teaches basically how I got girls, how I met girls, how I got girls to like me, how I got girls to fall in love with me to work on webcam for me.
Bruh, oh my God, bro, you just proved the coercion and fraud and manipulation right there. Like, oh, just in that sentence alone, bruh. I'm telling you, oh my God. And y'all are saying there's no evidence. There's no evidence. They got courses off of those hard drives. Don't you think out of those hard drives he was running, you don't think he had like USB files of those courses he was selling y'all? You don't think they have deep evidence of this shit that he's promoting on YouTube right now? You guys are crazy not to believe that.
Has to respect you and love you. You don't want a girl who's in it for money. You want a girl who's in it to be with you.
The girls were later transported and housed in buildings in Ilfov County, where by exercising acts of physical violence and mental coercion, through intimidation, constant surveillance, control, and invoking alleged debts, they were sexually exploited by group members by forcing them to perform demonstrations pornographic in order to produce and spread through some social media platform. The 7 women identified during the criminal investigation were subjected to forced labor in order to obtain important financial benefits, consisting of sums of money as a result of viewers accessing the materials on the platform. Basically, the girls would go on TikTok and OnlyFans and get simps to send them loads of money, to which Andrew would take huge chunks of. So exactly what he's been bragging about doing on all of these podcasts.
We had these guys falling in love with my models, serious, big time in love, right? And they were convinced they were going to meet the chick. This is almost where I kind of felt bad, because they were like, can we meet? I've sent you $200,000. Can we meet? Can we meet? Can we meet? And the problem
What was
is,
the most that one person sent to a model? Total.
Million?
Of the 7 girls who were sexually exploited by the organized crime group, 3 became civil parties in the criminal process. Andrew Tate would call these girls that would help him recruit more girls his bottom bitch.
Listen, you can't get any crazier than that, right? You just can't. And here's the thing: a lot of us Tate fanboys are gonna be like, "Well, just because he refers to things in pimp terms does not mean he was an actual pimp." Listen, bro. If prosecutors can play music videos of rappers, if prosecutors can play lyrics of rappers basically singing about murders, listen, just because they sing about a murder, I mean, that's not illegal. It's weird, but it's not illegal. But if they can tie that lyric to something that actually happened in the real world, well, then that could be used as potential evidence. So, of course, you guys are right. Andrew Tate referring to his girls he's managing like as bottom bitches, or even referring to himself as a pimp or whatever it is, right? That in itself is not illegal. But when they have this whole trafficking case they're building on this guy, and they're seeing him basically refer to his business in those terms, yeah, of course, dude, they're gonna tie that shit together. And there's no shortage of evidence online of him himself, no one else, not the Matrix, nothing else. It's him doing it. And it's so funny because he dragged his own brother into this shit. All right, yeah, Tristan talks his shit too as well, but listen, Tristan doesn't go as crazy as Andrew Tate. It just sucks that he's a part of this whole thing now. And I'm not saying that I feel bad for Tristan. He's 100% culpable in this mess. It's just like, imagine that your brother is the bigger talent, but as the bigger talent, he just goes around different platforms doing nothing else but self-snitch. Eventually, just taking down your entire organization, which is insane.
Bottom bitch, the new girl, you go out for fucking a nice dinner. Your bottom bitch is the one who does the selling. You don't do the selling. The girl has to hear it from the girl. And this is where your bottom bitch has to be trained. That's why I said it's so important to have a good first girl.
Dudes, he's admitting to doing exactly what he's charged for. He's now just trying to obfuscate information. I'm no fan of the BBC. I think the interview they had with him was poor. They asked a lot of leading questions. However, Andrew Tate was blatantly lying at several points during that interview in an attempt to sway public opinion.
You have said, my job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, get her to fall in love with me to the point where she'd do anything I say, and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together.
I don't think that's what I personally said. I think that's
exactly what
no,
you said
that's
on your
that's
website.
that's no. I've never said that.
That is exactly what you said.
That's
Word for word.
Yo, that's exactly what he said, right? And you know what's crazy? People are listen. I watched the BBC interview and I rewatched the Vice interview. All right, and realistically, watching both interviews, listen. Of course, they're gonna ask those leading questions. That's just what's gonna happen when you're in these mainstream media platforms that actually don't give a fuck about you. That's why you shouldn't be talking to the media while you have an ongoing investigation, dumbass. But hey, listen, you can't tell the Tate brothers what to do. They do whatever the fuck they want to. So listen, I didn't find those questions. Yeah, I didn't feel them that they were leading, but they weren't crazy because those are questions that even if I would ask, like, yo, what's going on with these cases here? All right, you're saying this Sophie person, you have these EV person saying this. All right, what do you say about it? And the fact that he took all of that and tried to make it as one giant battle between him and the media tells you everything that you need to know. First things first, it tells you that he's a complete tard for actually speaking to the media while he has an ongoing investigation. But two, it lets you know that he just sat there and lied and said that what he said, his own words, weren't really what he said. You guys are following and worshiping a guy that can't even stand behind what he says. I mean, how utterly pathetic.
On your website, you could still view it using the Wayback Machine. It was part of his online course on pimping.
Because that's what I did. That was my MO was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me. And that's how I got rich.
Update, he's recently asked to remove it off of the Wayback Machine, so you can't look it up anymore. He's hiding the evidence.
Your website, your words.
It's on my website.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not. CobraTape.com, I have my PhD program.
You have said, my job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, get her to fall in love with me.
Bro, does this chick have a tattoo? It says, what is it? Emery A. Tate. Yeah, bro, if I would have looked through this website, if it was still there, I would think this is like an escort. Like hire an escort or some shit, bro. Look, they got his names tattooed all over him. That's crazy, bro.
The point where she'd do anything I say and then get her on webcam so we could become rich together.
He then lies again and says that it's not his website.
Your website, your words.
It's on my website.
The website is CobraTate.com. It's your Twitter handle, your name. Every video you post ends with your website URL, and it's you in the courses. It's like, how much paint do you have to sniff to believe that this isn't his website?
You'd have to be an Andrew Tate level paint sniffer, right? Andrew Tate fanboy level paint sniffer to realize that, yeah, he took himself down.
You have to forgo all common sense. What, is this another technicality? It's actually my brother who owns the site. This whole thing where the Matrix is out to get him and wants to put him in jail for speaking the truth.
And the reason I say this, and I say this to people, and they go, but what can they put you in jail for? And I'm like, how ignorant are you in your ignorance to believe they need a reason? You believe it's fair. You believe I can get a lawyer and prove myself innocent. That's not how it works. They decide you're guilty long before and they find a reason why. It actually annoys me when people say that to me. Well, just get a lawyer. Why? They can't put you in jail if you're innocent. Yes, they can. And that's what people don't understand about the world. They can and they do and they fucking will.
Sneeko, Fresh and Fit, Pearl, Zerka, Alex Jones, they all talk about how the women suck and that the Matrix is evil and that you have to be rich. They all say and do way crazier stuff than the Tates. Yet he's the only one that walks around paranoid for a year saying,
Boom! Yo, chat! Yo, Willie is hitting it right now, bro. This is what I'm saying. Andrew Tate, Sneeko, even Zerka. I think Zerka's the worst. That dude needs to go. All right? I think he's the absolute worst. Zerka, Sneeko, all of these guys, they say the exact same thing Andrew Tate does, but only one out of those people are being investigated for being a trafficker, and that's you, Andrew Tate. So the fact that your audience, who are brainless, can sit there and say, no, it's a Matrix witch hunt. It's the Matrix, okay? And it's not because I was huffing glue. It's because the Matrix is coming after Tate, okay? And that's why if they can come after Tate, they can come after anybody, and Tate's completely innocent because there's no evidence. It's like, bro, relax, chill. The evidence is online, and it's provided for you by Andrew Tate. So take it with however you want to leave it, all right? But I just find it so cringe that all y'all can't even just do the basic common sense of just logical deduction and say, hey, Andrew Tate is saying that they can lock me up for speaking the truth. I also follow Fashion Fit and Zerka. Matter of fact, I like what Zerka says, right? So, but Zerka says way crazier shit than Andrew Tate, but Zerka is not getting investigated for trafficking. huh, maybe there's something more to that, right? But y'all don't want to do that thinking. Y'all don't want to do any of those logical deductions. Y'all just want to sit there and believe whatever your daddy is telling you to believe. And it's just so sad.
He's going to go to jail.
Strike two is they try and put you in jail for no reason.
What can they put you in jail for? And I'm like, how ignorant are you in your ignorance to believe they need a reason?
He's not Edward Snowden. What innocent person walks around and says this? The day before he was charged, he uploaded a video telling people not to look at the evidence that would come out. It's all lies.
These people are liars. The people they tell you are good are not good. The people they tell you are bad are the good ones. Do not believe a word that they say.
The video then ends by linking to his website, which remember is totally not his, by the way. I'm glad his case is going to trial, but I'm not going to pretend there's a 50-50 chance of him winning. In fact, I think there's a 99% chance he's totally screwed.
Everyone but Tate fans and Red Pillars are, listen, they're coming to this exact same conclusions. The longer this goes on, the more everyone is slowly starting to realize that Andrew Tate is likely done. Okay, it's over. All right, this guy is gonna be found guilty. There's no way. Listen, he's sitting there online trying to tell you, hey, everyone is telling you that they're good, they're actually evil, and the ones that tell you they're evil, they're actually good. All right, don't believe everything you say on the media. But then, okay, why should we believe what you're saying? Technically, you're out there, right? Why should we believe you? I mean, you got a massive following. You got access to a bunch of people. Why should we believe that you're telling the truth if you're telling us not to believe what the investigators and the prosecutors are saying? That makes no sense. So you're telling us, you're practically trying to sell to your audience, hey, whatever evidence that comes out, okay, don't believe them. It's all lies. It's all Matrix made up, okay? They're going to make shit up just to lock me up. It's not true. None of that is true. Like, wake the fuck up. This guy is done. Everybody else seems to know this, but people who are still sleeping in the red pill space. I don't get it, bro.
You just need common sense to see it. Like this common sense t-shirt. It's not politics, it's common sense. WillieMacShop.com. We got 3 lack of monetization I get for covering these psychos. So be sure to check it out. They're pretty cool. So where were we? Oh yeah, lying about trafficking. There are very real messages that are between 2 girls that were allegedly trafficked by the Tates. The Tates acknowledge the messages to be real and acknowledge that the girls lived with them. In fact, there's video proof. So their whole plan is to only show one snippet of the messages and then use it to dismiss the entire thing. So what do the messages say? Well, the first girl had to trick the Tates into thinking that she was madly in love with them, so she would be granted extra freedoms, like leaving the house. She then had her parents buy her a plane ticket so she could come home. While she was trapped with the Tates, she found another girl who also claimed to be trafficked. So she let her in on the plan so they could escape together. These messages are the first girl to her parents. I'm a little worried about leaving, but we set our flights up for 6 a.m. He moved me into a house with 4 girls. 3 of the 4 girls have been here 1 to 5 years and are the groomers. They normalize taking her clothes off and sending them pictures together. Tristan's brother is dating Blink from Blink. She's broken up with him. He texted her telling her if she loves him, she will cut an A into her wrist. His name is Andrew. They are definitely trafficking women. Her parents then reply, "Hi, Dad here. Stop your messages now. Go low key as you are in a very dangerous situation." She replied, "I'm actually in the best position to get out right now." The other girls might tell them though, "We are going to leave when they are sleeping." These girls are brainwashed. They don't do anything except stay in the house, and if they leave, everyone has to know. There are handlers too.
So I end up with all these chicks just stuck in their house, sitting there, bored, completely in love with me. And of course, they don't go out. They're not allowed out. You stay in the house.
But Duke, the girls can leave whatever they want, so it's not really trafficking, right? But the girls can leave whatever they want. Here is him just saying that the girls are not allowed out the house. And they're going to use manipulation and coercions to keep the women in the house. They got chat logs. They got WhatsApp messages, bruh. He's done. They got his own witness testimony. He's his own witness to his own case right now. That's what he is. They got all of this shit. He doesn't realize at this point him bragging about this was going to come back and haunt him. Like, what in the actual fuck are we actually talking about here? He's guilty. It's like the more you look at this, listen, I think the only people who are still sleeping are Red Pill fans. That's it. Like that's the only people who are still in the sleeping right now are the people who actually genuinely believe this guy is not gonna. He's not gonna get. Like y'all think he's gonna get off scot-free. Listen, you're sleeping. You're sleeping. He's telling you exactly what he's being accused and charged for.
You don't go nowhere. You're not, no restaurants, No clubs, nothing.
As I said, the two girls had to trick the Tates into thinking that they were madly in love with them. That way they would be given extra freedoms like leaving the house. Here's the messages between the two girls. If we make them believe we are in love, they will not suspect us leaving whatsoever. We need an effing Oscar. Let's go. Let's email Netflix ASAP, Hulu, Amazon Prime. Now, the Tates and their supporters never show the full context of these messages.
Yes.
They just show the Oscar and the Netflix part.
Yes.
And then frame the Tates as victims of these money-hungry girls who just want a Netflix special.
If a girl finesses a guy, it's, yo, that's awesome. That's, you know, they laugh at the guy like, you dummy. If a dude finesses a chick, yo, Netflix not
Put him in jail.
Put him in jail.
By finesse.
This is what I mean. Like a lot of these red pillars, they're talking about, like, especially Fresh and Fit. Myron promotes this a lot, which I find just ridiculous because he keeps saying this even till this point. He keeps saying this shit, right? Oh, well, these girls, you know, we know they're faking it because we saw them walking around the compound and they said they wanted an Oscar for doing this. First of all, they couldn't even, there's no evidence to prove that the videos, the girls they saw in the video, all right, were the same girls that were in these chat logs. And when they review the chat logs, they only review that little piece where they were talking about the Oscars and everything, but they don't include the father's conversation with the daughter. They don't include the back and forth conversation with the one girl and the other girl trying to escape. They don't include the proper context at all. But these are the same bozos when they get criticized for the exact same shit, putting other people out of context. They're the same ones to come out and say, well, you guys are the ones putting us out of context. We would never do that to you. It's snakes. What the fuck? What are you talking about? Here you are taking a trafficking situation to put it completely out of context so you can protect your daddy Tate. But realistically, you're the ones who are lying. And then you're going to turn around and point the finger and say that we're the ones who are putting things out of context, and that's the reason why he's innocent. You guys are crazy. I'm glad Willie Mack brought up this point because, like, this shit pisses me off when you see a bunch of these red pillars talking about they want Oscars. They're faking it. They're doing this for free. They could have left at any point in time. And every single time you review the evidence, it keeps showing you guys time in and time out that these girls, realistically, not only were they lied to, but they didn't really have an option when they got there to begin with. So it's like, y'all dudes, like, it's honestly, it's hilarious because I still think y'all are stupid, but it's also scary at the same time that y'all are so blindly willing to follow someone without actually reviewing the facts and evidence. Again, it makes me think that if we were back to them crazy ass times where we had one crazy leader, all right, y'all remember them Nazi days, all right, where people would say, oh, well, if I was alive back in Nazi Germany, I'd punch a Nazi. Nah, bro. I don't think so. Y'all be the same ones that be brainwashed by the exact same propaganda. Real talk. That's just what it is. The more I'm looking at this shit, how blindly you guys are willing to persecute other people without facts, without evidence. Oh, yeah. All y'all need is a charismatic leader to lead y'all astray. That's all y'all are waiting for. Y'all just one charismatic leader away from getting led down a path of just destruction. That's just what it is. I am thoroughly convinced of it.
Yes, they mean trafficked, just clarifying.
Here is the leaked messages from the girls who accused them of trafficking back in April, who called the embassy. Turns out they knew the whole time. Turns out they planned it out and they wanted to get a Netflix series.
There is zero intellectual integrity when it comes to this red pill space. It's an us versus them mentality. Forget about the facts.
When everyone attacked Andrew Tate, we didn't sit there and say, oh, you know what, man? They probably are human traffickers. You know, they probably are criminals. No. What the fuck did we do? We stood by them. We still stand by them and fuck anybody that goes against them. That's how we move over here.
Then that you guys are not objective people. So then when you talk about you review the facts, Myron, you're not really reviewing the facts because you're proving how biased you are. When people come over here and say, oh, the people who are objectively reviewing the facts, no, you guys are biased against Tate. No, we're not. We're just reading reality. I mean, it sounds biased because we're not toting the party line like all these bozos are toting. All right, if you guys don't realize that you're in an echo chamber, I don't know what the fuck else to tell you. He's promoting an echo chamber. Matter of fact, the whole way they move is about loyalties. It's not about truth. It's not about facts. It's not about evidence. It's about who they're loyal to. That's why they make a big stink about loyalty. That's why Anton Daniels cries online to Six the Goddess because he felt like she was disloyal to him. A lot of these red pillars, they don't care about facts. They don't care about evidence. They don't care about all these other things. They only care about it when it comes to women because they'll easily want to beat women over the head when they don't come with the facts and evidence, right? But when it comes to them and the people they care about, they don't care about facts and evidence because it's all about emotion from then on. And it's like the crazy hypocrisy. Like, these guys don't realize it. Y'all are being fed bullshit. If y'all think y'all are popping the Matrix and they're telling you the truth, he's literally admitting to you that there's no truth. It's only loyalty. That's it. And if y'all can't wake up and realize you're only useful to freshest fit as your loyalty is to them, I hope y'all start to wake up and realize you're not even in remotely close in the red pill club of telling the truth. Y'all are in the red pill club of cultists. That's just what it is. This is all just cult mentality right here. Oh, you got to be loyal to us. All right, we're all there is. The Matrix, this. You can't listen, bro. Listen, honestly, I can't trust you as an objective person if your main source of things are loyalty. All right, that means you're no different than the mainstream. You're fucking retards. You're no different than the mainstream media you criticize. You heard? You're no different from those people because realistically, they operate out of loyalty to the people who pay them. All right. You guys are operating out of loyalty to the people that give you the most clout. It's funny how a lot of people who are following you don't make those two distinctions. Like, it's crazy. That's why this whole Matrix conversation is just weird to me. Misinterpretations. Shout out to you for the $5 super chat. It says, these guys cry out of context when they're the ones publishing out of context messages to mislead people. Facts. That's all they do. They put shit out of context to mislead people, to lie to people this whole entire time, and yet when they get called out for it, we're the ones that get told that we're putting them out of context, right? All of a sudden, there's this big vendetta against reaction channels. Reaction channels are purposely putting things out of context. Reaction channels, they really just want to make us look bad. It's like, no, we're just correcting the facts that you so conveniently left out of the full story. That's all we're saying. So just because we're reminding you guys of the facts so your audience don't end up saying stupid shit out there doesn't mean we're putting you out of context. We're putting you back into context, okay? And when you put y'all back into context, it don't make sense now, does it? Matter of fact, you start to realize that these guys are liars. They're nothing but liars, fraudsters. And why do they do this? All right, you got to ask yourself the question, why do they feel the need to do this? It's because Andrew Tate brings money. Andrew Tate brings views. Andrew Tate brings clout. So when these guys want to sit there and criticize the Matrix, they want to criticize the mainstream media because all they care about is the money and views and protecting those in power, what do you think these losers are fucking doing? They criticize us for holding truth to power, but meanwhile, they would much rather protect their buddies than tell you the actual truth. Make it make sense. And y'all dummies that come here and tell us that we're the ones who are biased. Look in the fucking mirror. I think you're missing something here. Pat Freeman, shout out to you for the $5 in the chat. He says MF Dumb MF Dumb say they became their own star witness. Tell all business. Facts. They are their own star witnesses. Andrew Tate, listen, all the evidence is brought and provided for by the Tate brothers. Not so much Tristan. That's why, I would give Tristan Tate a pass in this, right? Not in the trafficking. Oh, he's guilty. But in the fact of just the self-expose they've done, all right? Listen, I would give Tristan a pass because on some of the interviews I've watched, he doesn't really brag about this stuff as much. He kind of keeps it kind of straight and low-key. But realistically, Andrew Tate is the one that just goes out and does a tell-all interview about everything. Right? He just tells about everything. It's like, bruh, you talk about the drug dealing, the gambling. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up, bro. Shut up.
If we work with you, we earn $1 with you, we're going to have some level or some semblance of respect for you, and we're not going to fuck with your name.
Blind loyalty is not a respectable trait. What, you make a few bucks with the guy so you cover for him even when he's guilty? If you guys can't be honest about something, you should probably just avoid talking about it. Now, when it comes to the girls' messages and the charges filed against Tate, they line up perfectly. The girls talk about having to work for Tate, like post some TikToks. Huh, you know what? That makes a lot of sense when looking at the charges.
Of moving women to Romania so we could steal money from their TikTok accounts.
That was my MO was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me.
Like, bruh, this guy's guilty, dog.
I want to take a moment and address some of the arguments that I already know will be made by their fans. The first one is that the girls made happy TikToks while working with Andrew Tate, therefore they were happy, and clearly never trafficked.
Look at what they were really doing. They're in the house all the time. This is them. Does this look like women who are being held against their will?
The trafficking part is them having to get money.
Oh my God. This is what I'm saying. These guys are so stupid. They're such surface. There's nothing deep about these people. They're so pretentious. It's not even funny, right? They pretend they know everything about the conspiracies, about the world, the global agenda. I'm telling you all right now, when it comes to actual conspiracies, these guys don't even have a clue what the fuck's going on out there. They don't, because when you look at them and the way they assess, when it comes to like certain challenges and that certain things that need problem-solving skills and critical thinking, right? These guys don't have any of that. They will just look at it, take it at face value, and run with it and say, oh, well, look, these girls are walking around the compound and they look happy, so they can't be trafficked if they look happy. Oh, look at them singing and dancing on TikTok, you know? They look happy, right? You can't be trafficked if you're happy. Listen, I think these guys have like a crazy picture when it comes to trafficking, right? And I partially blame the media for this, right? Because when they talk about trafficking, you usually see the worst case scenario, like prostitution, right? Young girls being kidnapped or young girls being coerced, and then they get taken advantage of, right? And then now they find themselves in a life of prostitution or whatever the fuck it is, right? And then you see these horrible situations on these documentaries that some of these women, and they're in these third world countries that they're in, right? You see these horrible conditions, and I think these red pillars are thinking, well, if the women aren't tied up or crying or in these dingy ass basements shackled with a chain or whatever it is, it's not trafficking. And I don't think they really understand what trafficking looks like in the real world, right? Like I mean, you're looking at the more severe form of it, but the more common form of trafficking is what Andrew Tate does, is that style. Matter of fact, that's actually the most common way girls get recruited into real world pimping. They run into a guy, and all of a sudden, he seems like the greatest guy in the world. He seems sweet. He seems nice. He has sex with them a couple times, right? And all of a sudden, they're falling in love with them. And then before you know it, he slowly starts introducing them into that life. All right. And before you know it, because they still think that he loves them, they will go ahead and then sell their bodies for him. Right. That's the exact same gameplay. When you watch these documentaries, when you watch these certain things, that's the gameplay. Andrew Tate is just doing a more, I would say, web version of it, I guess, right? Like, it's not as dingy as some of these other documentaries would make it seem, but I think that's what these guys think. If you're not in these dingy basement with a chain or anything like that, if you're out here just dancing and you got a smile on your face, then that doesn't mean you've been trafficked. And with that kind of knowledge and mentality, y'all just keep reminding the rest of the world how stupid you are. Realistically, Sneeko, just keep reminding the rest of the world how much of an idiot you are. I mean, it just is what it is. You can't take these people seriously on life advice if they're thinking with emotions and all this different nonsense, bro, and they're unwilling to be objective.
Money out of simps. That's Tate's entire business model. So yes, it would make sense they would look happy in a TikTok. Another argument is that there's security footage of the girls leaving outside the house, proving that they were never trapped.
Oh, terrible. They really are. Like, come on, man.
Yo,
Hey, bro, is it step one to hold the girls captive?
Hey, the guard's like, man,
This is like legit. This is legit, bro. What you call caught in 4K.
In the text messages that you guys didn't read, they explained that if they convinced the Tates that they were in love with them, they would be given more freedoms like the ability to leave the house. And then finally, there's the argument that the Tates are already rich, so why would they traffic women?
The narrative is that I formed a criminal gang when my net worth was already over $100 million, when I was a retired professional sportsman, when my brother was already the retired 4-time kickboxing champion of the world with no financial motive.
It actually makes a ton of sense that they would still be doing this trafficking stuff. It's how they made their millions in the first place.
Boom.
Don't let this new narrative fool you that they made their millions from boxing, because they were saying the opposite less than a year ago.
Bro, I need to get paid. Right? I'm broke now. I'm retired from fighting. I have no money. I'm running out of money. I was 28 when I won my 4th world title. And one day I woke up and I literally just woke up. I looked at my bank. I just won a world title fight, but I hadn't fought in 6 months. By the time I paid all my back rent and paid my car payments, all that, I looked at my bank. I had like $3,000, $4,000 in there. And I'm like, I'm giving up my entire life and I don't even know how I'm going to live. And the beginning of my cam empire was this tiny little apartment, me and my 2 girlfriends. I'd pull in, let's say, $3,000 a day, $4,000 a day. So that became my new life, right? I went from kickboxer to a fucking pretend girl on the internet.
It's probably going to be
there you go. I mean, that's a big enough incentive right there. Andrew Tate, again, you are the prosecutor's star witness, and you don't even realize it. That's why you probably should have kept your mouth shut before trial. And now you're just dragging yourself, your whole organization, and your enterprise down with you. And that's just, a lot of Willie Mack, what he's exposing right now is just how ignorant a lot of Tate followers are, right? Especially when Fresh and Fit put up that video of the gate cam, right? Oh, look at them. They're stepping outside. Caught in 4K. You can't be trafficked if they let you outside. That's not trafficking. It's like, bruh, you guys cannot be that dumb. Like, honestly, cannot be that dumb. Matter of fact, it makes me question how prepared these manosphere gurus are actually helping men get for the real world situations. Because if y'all are just willing to accept any kind of bullshit, you are not prepared to handle anything in the real world. Guaranteed. Matter of fact, you wouldn't even see any of these red flags coming. Y'all wouldn't be able to see it. Y'all are the ones that actually be taken advantage of in the real world because y'all got no street sense whatsoever.
A lot of Tate fans in the comments saying that I took things out of context. All the red pillars love to say that. It's the biggest cope. Link them to this timestamp. Prove it. Make a video showing that I took something out of context. You won't do it because I did it. Bitch, I always bring receipts.
Here in the dark, it's hard to tell. So hard to tell.
Andrew and Tristan Tate have been charged with rape, assault, instigating violence, and I have no idea if he's guilty of any of that. None of that information or evidence has been made public. But is he guilty of these sex trafficking charges, where he would coerce women with a relationship and potentially marriage using the lover boy method?
Because that's what I did. That was my MO, was find girls, make them love me, and make them work for me.
And then when he got them in Romania, make them work on TikToks and OnlyFans for him.
Yeah, I'm teaching guys how to run OnlyFans companies.
To pull money out of simps online.
What was the most that one person sent to a model? Total.
Million?
Yes, I think he's 100% guilty of that. He's on camera admitting it. He sold courses teaching it and is now resorted to deleting the courses off the site and lying about it ever existing. He's lying about owning the site, which is his name.
Your website, your words.
It's on my website.
This dude is super guilty. All the evidence is right in.
You shouldn't have done that BBC interview, bro. That right there, they're probably, because you, like, remember, after that interview, 4 different girls in the UK filed new charges, right? And then after the Cobra, the war room or emergency meeting, right? Then they officially charged them. So every time these guys went and just talked in the media, it got that worse. It got worse for him. Like, that's the thing. They should have just kept quiet, but he wanted. See, the thing is, that's how you know he's guilty. He needs a court of public opinion on his side, because he knows that the actual courts, the criminal courts, all right, they're not going to be on his side because they got the evidence. They're going to be on the side of the facts and evidence. And the facts and evidence right now, it seems like it's going against Andrew Tate.
In front of you. Now, maybe there's some weird technicality that he gets out on, but Andrew Tate seems pretty worried, and that makes me think he's screwed.
The Romanian government is going to charge me. They're not going to charge me because they have any evidence. And they're not going to charge me because I'm guilty.
Bro, they have a ton of evidence. Just look at this video.
When the Matrix unrelentingly continues to print lies about me and try to convince the world that I am a bad person, I hope it does nothing else but show the world that I am a good person.
Listen. What you say on social media is completely different than what you're being charged for in criminal court. Okay, so just because you're getting slandered in mainstream media does not mean, it's not even slander, because a lot of shit is you're being investigated for it. So just because they're saying exactly what your case or whatever is reflecting on your case does not mean that they're trying to like get you out of here. It seems like that actual thing you're being charged for seems like the main thing that's bringing you down right now, not the bad things you've been saying online. It's the bad things you've actually done and they have evidence for.
These people are liars. The people they tell you are good are not good. The people they tell you are bad are the good ones. Do not believe a word that they say.
He's begging people to ignore the evidence that comes out during the trial. This is sad. Be sure to subscribe to the channel.
Chat, I told y'all. Didn't I tell y'all? When we first reacted to this video, what did I say? I was like, yo, y'all thinking this is some kind of strong guy, letting the media know that, they're not going to win. And all I saw was a scared man. I'm looking at a dude's eyes right now. Pause. Pause. Hold up. Hey, yo, hold up. When you look in his eyes, you can tell You could tell he's scared, bro. Listen, you just know, like sometimes you just, as a dude, bro, you just know when certain people don't have that confident energy, right? Sometimes people are good at faking it, but usually if you've been around people a lot, you grew up around people, you know, ruffling and tussling and shit like that, you get a sense for who's a tough guy, who really isn't, right? And when you look at a guy like Andrew Tate, right, and, you know, when you look at the situation he's facing right now, and you look at the way he's talking, and especially when you compare it to how he was talking before getting arrested and raided to after he's getting got arrested and raided, it's completely different. It's night and day. The Andrew Tate post being arrested, post being raided, all right, he looks scared. He knows that there's something coming down. Matter of fact, I think he knows exactly what's happening. I think he knows exactly what the play is going to be. He's just trying to convince or at least run interference for the media before the actual facts and evidence come out. So I just find it crazy. Now, listen, if it comes out that the Romanian government ends up finding him innocent, I'd be the first one saying, listen, they got nothing on him. I guess all the shit, all that self-snitching shit, they still didn't have enough evidence to convict them. And these guys are going to be martyrs. It is what it is. But as it stands right now, does it look, and that's the thing, because y'all think that we're just trying to be like, you know, oh, we're just hating because like we don't like Andrew Tate. No, I don't think you guys realize no one cares about Andrew Tate the way you think people care about him, all right? Just because you care about Andrew Tate and he's the most important thing in your Tate life right now and you want to be the top G, all right, doesn't mean he's important to the rest of us. The rest of us can we couldn't care. We can care. It's just that this guy is the biggest name out there, especially in the red pill space, and we got to cover it because a lot of the shit that he's saying is stupid and it's quite frankly it could be dangerous to a lot of young men. I mean, for Pete's sakes, he sold a course teaching guys how to be internet pimps, and look where he ended up. Think about it. Imagine if you did the exact same thing, you were actually successful. You'd be under investigation. Let's just be real. You'd be under investigation. So realistically, no one's hating. No one's trying to clout chase him, except for the people who are actually using his name for clout and not telling you the truth. All right, they're the ones who are clout chasing. But realistically, we're just telling y'all exactly how we see it. This guy has a bunch of self-snitching, incriminating crap online. Basically, if this is what the investigators are looking for, this is probably what they're going to use against them. You're the ones out there, you Tate stands, who you guys want to sleep and pretend that there's nothing else going on. Again, realistically, if he gets found innocent, fine, because we don't want an innocent man in prison anyways, right? But realistically, the real question y'all should be asking yourself is, what if he gets found guilty? Now what are you going to do? What are you guys going to say? That you guys have been running interference and backing a predator this entire time? Right? But y'all are supposed to be the ones who are supposed to be men, right? But the person who's been leading you guys to the kingdom of alpha male, all right, it turns out that he himself is a no good 2-bit trafficker. Matter of fact, even it's so bad that the only person he can compare himself is a pedophile, right? That's ridiculous. That's the only person he can compare himself to, or at least the only case he can compare himself to is a pedophile. That's how low this guy is. And the fact that y'all are supporting this shit says a lot about you. So instead of asking me and coming to my channel asking Duke, what are you gonna do if he gets found innocent? Okay, what are you gonna eat your own hat? Yeah, because I'm not personally affected by this. I just report what the fuck we see. But the real question is, what are you gonna do once it comes out that this guy is actually guilty and you guys have been supporting a trafficker this entire time? Matter of fact, what's even worse is that the money that he made off of you guys paying for his course went towards fueling his trafficking enterprise, meaning that you guys, the Tate audience, are directly responsible for potentially funding an organized crime trafficking syndicate. What are you going to do then? What are you going to say then? Right? Y'all want to speak out against all this injustice and all crap, but y'all money went towards uplifting a criminal organized empire. Like, y'all gotta wake up, bro. I think it's time for y'all to actually be objective rather than sitting here and pretending that you're speaking the truth and there's no facts and evidence, okay? There's likely a lot of evidence out there that's gonna convict them. The only question we gotta ask is, how much time is he gonna do? All right, guys, that's what we got for y'all today, okay? Y'all gotta let me know what you think. You know how I like my ones and twos, okay? Put a one in the chat if you think for sure he's guilty. There's too much self-snitching out there, too much evidence. They're gonna get him booked. Or put a two in the chat if you honestly believe, Duke, you're wrong, all right? You're wrong. You have no idea what you're talking about, all right? They're gonna find him innocent because guess what, Duke? There is no evidence, all right? One for guilty, two for not guilty, and I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Peace.